Hey everyone. So I know it's been a while since I've come to you on this channel, Get Fit with Grace. I think the last time I did a video for you guys was in January 2020. What a year 2020 was for a lot of us, and for me especially. I lost my dad. I thought I could talk about it a little easier now, but so my topic today is grief. So as you can see, it still hits me sometimes. Sorry. As of March 20th, 2020, that's when my dad passed. It's been a year, and grief is a funny thing. For the most part, I've gotten better. I fell into a deep, deep depression. I didn't even know I was in. I just kept creating and creating and creating. I was creating so much that it was kind of like stuffing my emotions into creating. And then one day I realized I haven't taken the time to really heal. And it's not like you can really heal from the loss of your parent. Will time make it easier to talk about? I'm not sure. I have my good days and I could be really happy and then just talking about something, or I see a picture and I start crying. Like, grief, that's grief, you know. Grief is one of those things, like, you just have to go through and process. And don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not over it yet. It's been a year. I'm not sure if it gets any easier when it comes to your parents. I know for myself, losing my dad it threw me into a whole, like, a turmoil of a lot of emotion. Like, I lost my grandmother a couple years before losing my dad, and the loss wasn't the same. Of course, I was sad, you know, but when my dad passed, even though I knew he was going to pass, and it's like, even though you know, because his health was failing and he was going through dementia, and he was in the hospital for almost like 3 weeks before he passed. You know, but it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it feel less painful. And losing my dad, the loss was like, it made me question. I don't know if anyone felt this when they lost their parent. It made me question my existence. And it was really hard for months. It was really hard for me to want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to. I stopped eating healthy. I really felt like killing myself. yeah, that's how severely my depression got. I talked to you guys about this today. It's not just to stir up any emotions or anything like that, because I know I'm making this video to let you guys know that grief is a personal thing. Everyone grieves differently. I read this book one time called Grief Recovery, and grief can come in many different forms. Grief can be the cause of change. Change can cause grief. Not just the loss of a person, but a loss of a job, moving out, moving on with life. All that can cause grief. And it's a form of grief. And one thing I read in that book was don't let anyone tell you you should be over it by now. Because grief is personal. Everyone grieves differently. Some people might cry and go into a deep depression, and some people might not at all, might not cry at all. I know some people who wish they could cry and they just can't. So anyone who's going through any loss and you're grieving and someone's telling you, oh, you're not over it yet, if it's been 5 years, it's been 10 years, and it hits you sometimes and you just start crying, that's normal. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with you. That's normal. And I want to say, like, I'm doing better. I started to get back into my healthy habits. I did gain a tremendous amount of weight, and that probably sped up my cycle of depression as well, but I didn't feel good. I was eating, if anyone knows me, they know I predominantly eat organic, and I went from 100% organic and eating healthy to eating pizza like 3 times a week, eating out almost every day. I didn't care to cook. I didn't care to choose healthy foods. And then this whole quarantine hit, and every time I went to the grocery store, all I could find, I couldn't even, like, it was like organic seemed to disappear, and I couldn't really find organic. So it was 2020 was a strange time, I know, for all of us. And so the loss of my dad, and then the whole country being put on quarantine, it was like a loss in so many ways, and such strange times and feelings to go through. So yeah, 2021 so far is better. Am I completely, like, I don't know if you can ever really heal from a loss. I don't really think you can, especially a parent. Because like I said, I could be laughing with my family, and then 1 minute I'm crying. I could just today think of him. A song came on when I was working out, and it was a song that he used to play. And of course, and here I am doing this video. Why am I doing this video? You're probably asking. If I'm doing this video because I was inspired to do this video. I felt like somebody needed to hear this. Maybe somebody else is struggling with grief, and people are telling them, oh, it'll get better in time, or they're feeling like they want to, sorry, tears all over me. Maybe they feel like killing themselves, or they want to end their life as well because of the loss of somebody. And I want to tell you, you're not alone. You're really not alone. And it does get better. It does. It gets easier to go through the day. And one of the things, when I joined this health group in November, and I started to put my health back, my mind, body, and soul back together, and focus on myself and really deal with things emotionally. One of the things that someone asked me was, what would your father want from you? So I ask you this: if you have a loved one that passed, what would they want you to do? Would they want you to be upset and crying all the time? Or would they want you to celebrate their life? Like, I can now, like, we have celebrations for my father. Like, we'll play his favorite music. We'll celebrate him. And we'll talk about all the funny things he did. And that's nice, So if you are struggling, you're not alone. And it does get a little easier. And I make this video because I felt inspired that maybe somebody needed to hear this. And just think about your loved ones and think, what would they want you to be doing with your life? Would they want you to be sad and crying, or would they want you to be healthy and live for them, live and celebrate them and honor them? And maybe some of you, well, I won't really get into that right now. I'll save that for another video. But anyways, cheers for now, everybody, and namaste. Get fit with grace. Love y'all.